He's as hot as a Carolina Reaper on black asphalt in the middle of July. Oh, honey, you have no idea. And later, there's nothing safe in the way I feel about you. Safe? Darling, we're talking about coconut oil and chili peppers in the same sentence, in the same vicinity. This isn't safe. This is a biohazard waiting to happen.
I believe the technical term is a culinary catastrophe with romantic overtones. Or, as one particularly eloquent reviewer put it, the spice is literally on point. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds painful.
Welcome back to Heartbook Radio, the only show that dares to ask the tough questions, like, is it really a good idea to mix capsaicin with your intimate moments? I'm here to tell you from personal experience, not with chili peppers, mind you, but with a particularly potent batch of wasabi, that the answer is a resounding no.
And I'm your resident voice of reason, here to remind everyone that we're discussing Tia, Louise's The Way We Touch, a book that apparently redefines the term specie romance. I'm fairly certain the author did not intend for this to be a cautionary tale about the dangers of experimental cuisine in the bedroom.
Oh, but isn't that what makes it art? Taking the mundane, like, say, a trip to the grocery store and turning it into a fiery inferno of passion. Or at least, a fiery inferno of something. I'm still not entirely clear on the logistics.
I suspect neither is the heroine, Dylan.
Dylan Bradford, folks, claims to hate football players. Hates them, because of, brain damage. CT, very serious, very woke. And then, bam, Logan Murphy, NFL superstar, walks in, and suddenly, all those principles go right out the window. It's like watching a vegan devour a double cheeseburger.
To be fair, Logan is described as let's just say he's not exactly lacking in physical appeal. And he does undergo a rather dramatic transformation from your typical playboy athlete to a surprisingly devoted partner. It's almost believable.
Almost. Except for the whole small town nobody thing. Turns out Dylan's family is practically NFL royalty. It's like claiming you're a struggling artist while living in a penthouse owned by your billionaire parents. One reviewer called it, well, one of the most unrealistic things I have read in a book for quite some time, and I read Alien and Monster Smut. Alien and Monster Smut, that's our competition.
Indeed. And let's not forget Craig, the fabulous best friend who wears wigs and dispenses blunt advice. He's the real hero of this story, in my opinion. The voice of sanity in a world of pepper-induced madness.
Oh, Craig, he's the friend we all need, the one who will tell you, honey, that chili oil is a terrible idea, while simultaneously handing you a tube of coconut oil, just in case. He's a walking, talking contradiction, just like this book. And don't even get me started on the coyote ugly dance.
I'm not sure our listeners are ready for a detailed analysis of the coyote ugly dance.
But they need to know. It's pivotal.
So, the million-dollar question, is The Way We Touch actually any good? The reviews are mixed, to say the least. We have the window thrower, who apparently wanted to throw themselves out the window halfway through.
A bit dramatic, don't you think? I mean, it's just a book. Although I did once throw a copy of Moby Dick across the room. Too many whales.
Then there's the bored one, who lost interest in the second half. And the unrealistic police, who, as we discussed, took issue with Dylan's nobody status. But then we have the pepper-obsessed, who are either delighted or horrified by the culinary aspects of the romance.
And let's not forget the contradictors. Some love the fact that there's no third-act breakup. Others are deeply disappointed. It's like they can't decide if they want a predictable romance or a slightly less predictable romance.
And then there's the hypothetical listener who supposedly cried on the subway. I'm not sure I believe that, but it certainly adds to the drama.
Oh, I believe it. I once cried on the subway because I missed my stop. And because I was reading a particularly sad poem about a pigeon. It was a very emotional day.
We're supposed to be discussing the book.
Right, the book? Okay, here's my take. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. It's probably not going to win any literary awards. But it's also kind of fun, in a watching a train wreck in slow motion kind of way.
I suppose there's a certain escapist appeal to it, a guilty pleasure, if you will. Like eating an entire bag of chips in one sitting. You know it's not good for you, but you can't help yourself.
Exactly. It's the literary equivalent of a chili pepper. It might burn a little, but it also leaves you wanting more. Or maybe that's just the capsaicin talking.
So, how do we rate this culinary romantic experience?
I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10 accidental chili oil applications. High on the spice scale, low on the common sense scale, but ultimately memorable.
I'm going to be more conservative and give it a 5 out of 10 ghost peppers. Mildly entertaining, but potentially hazardous to your emotional and physical well-being.
We disagree on everything, just like a good marriage. Or a bad one. Depends on the day.
Join us next week when we tackle the controversial classic, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, a metaphor for late-stage capitalism. It's going to be a wild ride.
I have a feeling it will be. This is Heartbook Radio, reminding you to read responsibly, and maybe keep a fire extinguisher handy, just in case.